Very much. O.J. Simpson has served just about 9 years in a Nevada prison, and today he is up for parole.
Legal expert Jill Stanley is here with some insight in today's hearing. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
What will the board have to consider in order to grant parole?
There are a lot of things the board must consider today. They're going to look at his behavior in prison, and they're going to look at whether he took any advantage of any of the programs in prison. They're going to look at the type of crimes that he committed, that he was convicted for. But the number one thing they're really going to look at is, will O.J. be a risk if released into the community?
Well, at 70 years of age, that's probably asked and answered, I would think. You know, a lot of people, Jill, think that his sentence was based not on the crime he committed in Nevada, but on retribution or retaliation for his acquittal in the murder case. So will his celebrity affect his parole?
No, I don't think at this point his celebrity is affecting anything. This Nevada Parole Board, they know what they are doing. Parole is a very routinized situation. I mean, this is not their first hearing. They do about 8,300 hearings a year, this Parole Board. They are very experienced. The 4 people who are reviewing his case today are the same 4 that granted him parole back in 2013. And I think we're going to see a very clear, concise analysis of the facts. We're going to hear O.J. speak today.
Right. Why are they so? Why is that so important to hear him?
To hear him speak? Well, this time, as opposed to in 2013, he could actually get out. In 2013, he could never leave prison because of the way his sentences were running. So he would have to stay in jail for another 4 years at least. And so that's kind of what happened back in 2013. He was never going to be released then, though he was granted parole. So now what O.J. must speak to is, what is he going to do when he's out? Where will he live? How will he fill his time? The post-release behavior is very critical, and that's what he'll speak to today.
Well, also where? Because he wants to go to Florida, but Florida doesn't want to babysit him if there's a parole issue where he has to have a parole officer check in. I mean, so
yes, anytime one is granted parole, there are conditions of parole. He may not be able to go to Florida. I think he will be able to go to Florida because if one is surrounded by family, one has more support, and that leads to a more successful post-release environment. So I do think they'll probably let him go to Florida, but they could easily not. There will be a lot of conditions that are going to be laid upon O.J. upon his release in October.
Jill, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We just want to remind you that the hearing does start at 10 a.m. this morning, and you can watch it live today right here on CBS 2. You can also watch it on CBSLA.com and on our Facebook page.